Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Graybeard Podcast. Tonight's episode it's just me. And I'm not even mad about it. What the fuck? What the hell? Anyways, where to begin? You know what? Let me get my screen up here. Let's see, chat. Where we at, chat? I'm going to put you over. No, I'm going to put you. Hooker. What? Oh, I hate this fucking thing. I don't want the chat there. I'm alone and I'm having technical difficulties. Like how? How now, brown cow? Do that. That's what I want. Just stay there. Okay. So, anywho, I'm by myself. And if you think that that's going to stop me from doing a podcast, you are on the crack. So here we are. It's another week. It is November 15th. And we are like a week away from Thanksgiving. Or no, 2 weeks away. Fuck. Isn't it it's always on a Thursday, right? Yeah, it's the 27th. Why do I always think that Thanksgiving's on the 24th? I don't know. And then right after that, it's Black Friday. So we're going to talk real quick about what's coming up next week. Is going to be Connor and Shannon, or just Connor. I don't know. I don't know who's going to be there. They're going to both be here, or it's just going to be him. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to that. You know, I've been shadow banned, I believe. I don't even like saying the word, but I feel like I've been kind of shadowy banned on Instagram and TikTok. I've been doing really good, and now, for some reason, none of my videos really rank. The podcast clips are doing great as far as views go. And, I've never been one to like study these things and any of this stuff. I honestly could not care less. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm on my phone. I apologize. Honestly, though, there's no one here. I know I have an agenda. Not really. But I'm going to talk about what I did today, what I'll be doing tomorrow, and kind of similar to what my live on Instagram was. If you popped in and saw that, then you kind of got a whiff of what I'll be talking about tonight. Unfortunately, the software for computers streaming to Instagram hasn't caught up with the phone yet, which is silly to me. I don't understand that at all. I'm going to be doing that the whole podcast also, by the way, which I have a button here. I can go and then just clear my throat and it won't bother anybody. This is like my 5th pot of coffee. No, cup. Sorry. I love coffee. So what I did today was a little thing. It's not a little thing. It was huge, actually. But my friend Jay Lonnie with the Jay Foundation, he's been on the podcast twice. So if you are a longtime listener and you've followed this podcast, you've seen him on here before. He had a turkey drive today. I'm not sure how many he's done in the past, but man, I have never. These turkeys went faster than any. Like they did a backpack drive that I witnessed, and those backpacks didn't go as fast as these turkeys did. I guess and I'm not giggling because it was a funny thing to me to think about, but it's not funny because people are very serious about food right now. Okay. It's definitely a top subject, if you will. Everybody's worried about food stamps and WIC and any government assistance that we may or may not be supposed to be getting. I don't get any of that stuff. Unfortunately, I could really use it, but I'm not. I probably won't get it. I'm probably like I make too much money to get government assistance, so there's that. But so everybody really appreciated, and I think that it was a real good thing for him to be out there doing that. And I think it's a fantastic thing that he has the opportunity and the backing, the opportunity, the will to do it. I can tell you, as crazy as it was out there, I don't think I would have the will to do that. Personally. I just muted my yawn. I thought I was going to sneeze and then I yawned. But yeah, it was a very it's important. It was a very important thing that he was doing, and I'm glad that he was doing that. And I'm also happy that I could capture it. It's things like that make me feel good about being a content creator. I don't care too much for like pomp and circumstance. And what I mean by that is I don't really care for if it's just to glamorize yourself, to make yourself feel good or whatever. I don't really care for that. What I do like is when it's one of those things where it makes other people feel good. It actually gives something to other people. Now I'm not shitting on those people that do have events or things that they do that are kind of pomp and circumstance. I love my friends very, very, very much. And I think it's fantastic that they have also the gumption to go out and do something that they love. I don't take anything away from that at all. All I'm saying is for me, it is much nicer to go into a situation that I know is like, oh, we're out here helping people and I'm documenting it. That's what I like. Now, tomorrow's event is one of those probably going to be a little more of that pomp and circumstance type of thing. So I'll be putting my creative creator's hat on, and I'm going to be working with someone. So my friend Tristan, and AKA Urban Curse, he'll be going with me. Hopefully my car's not fucked up. My air conditioner, Tristan, I apologize. My air conditioner went out today. I don't know why. So I'm going to have to look into that tomorrow morning and see if I can maybe figure something out, because I'm going to tell you right now, it was a little warm. I let the windows down and we were fine. I say we, I mean me, I was fine. But yeah, he'll be joining me and we're going to be going out there and getting creative. And oh, hey, look who it is. And it's going to be fun, I think. And that's my whole goal with tomorrow. Today was more of a like, let me capture what's happening, out here in the community, what people are doing out here to help people. And then, yeah, we going to cook, brother, for sure. But yeah, tomorrow is just kind of like, it's more about us, like he and I, and I'm going to talk about you like you're not in the chat. But he and I are a couple of creative souls, and it's like we keep hitting these walls, these road bumps or speed bumps, and in the form of I don't have the right equipment, I don't have enough hands, I don't have a creative, someone else creative to bounce this idea off of. I don't have someone this is the big one, someone that I can rely on. And like I said in my Instagram live this past week, if you joined, if you didn't, tough, because I can't save it when I'm running through the computer. If it's through the phone, you can save it and upload it and all that great stuff. It's weird that the phone technology and the computer technology are not like in sync. I guess my phone is more powerful than my computer, whatever. But anyways, so yeah, that having someone that you can trust and rely on is kind of like, I say kind of, it's more important than anything, honestly. If I had someone that didn't know shit about fuck and they were just there all the time and I could count on them, and I knew that if I said, hey bro, I need you to be here, they'd fucking be there. Like, I can teach them the rest. That's not an issue. The issue is finding people that don't run out on you when like if you build something. I've lost track of the amount of times that I have built something with someone and then they're like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And that really puts, I don't know, that puts me into a state of depression like no other, because I get hyper focused on something and I'm like all in. And then when somebody bails, it sucks. It really sucks, especially when you've like started to build something that's starting to gain traction, and it's gaining foot traffic and people and you're gaining notoriety for it and all these good things. And then all of a sudden, out of the clear blue nowhere, they're just like, you know what? Hey, fuck you. Or it's like, or they get into something else, maybe drugs or jail or any number of things cause them to stop hanging around and being involved in this endeavor. And I know, Tristan, I know you know what I'm talking about. You've been there. It's not fun. But so in that regard, that's he and I kind of like, we didn't make like a blood brother pact or anything. But maybe we oughta. No, but I think we're both just kind of feeling. It sounds like we're dating. It sounds like we're dating. And I can assure you, we're not. We're two heterosexual males, as far as I know. Anyways, we're just kind of feeling each other out on this, though, and seeing how it goes, because we've both been kind of burned. And, and I don't want to let him down, and I know he don't want to let me down, but it's one of those things where we're doing these low committal type of things. Like, we're going to do an Instagram live every Wednesday together. And we did one last week. It was super awesome. Had a young man he's been on the show as well. Chris, 2X. Let him know, boo. I will, bro. I just kind of did, man. The cat's out of the bag. No, but Chris popped in, and he is I say young and up and coming, but he's on the rise, and I think he's got his head on straight, and I'm really proud of him. And it was really nice of him to jump in and interject. We went so long because Instagram only allows you to like stream on their platform for an hour. There's all these fucking restrictions, man. Like, Instagram, come on, get your shit together. But at any rate, I digress. That you can only do that. You can only go live on there for like an hour. And I think we did almost 2, because we had to stop. It kicked us off, and then we came back and started another one. And so that was cool. It was really cool. It's good for me to like. It's nice for me to have, and I don't know if you feel this way too, Tristan. He's in the chat, folks. If you didn't know already, that's why I'm addressing him personally. At any rate, it's just nice to have another like dude to talk to. You know, like honestly, I don't really have a whole lot of friends. You know, and that's by design because I'm kind of a closed off, you know, introverted person, and I don't really click with too many people. And sometimes I don't even allow myself the opportunity to know if I'm going to click with somebody. And I had no idea the first time I brought him on the podcast. I had no idea that he was going to be that cool. And that I would, like, again, this is going to sound awful, but, like, you know, after the first podcast, I couldn't stop thinking about you, bro. Like, in a way that, like, I get this guy and he gets me, you know, as a creative. Not only that, not only just the creative stuff, like the way your mind works, it works similar to mine. It's almost like Swiss cheese, my brain. I don't want to say that about your brain, but like my brain is like Swiss cheese, and imagine like Alice in Wonderland and falling, you know, into the whatever Wonderland place is, but like on her way down the rabbit hole, she's falling into all these other little Swiss cheese holes of rabbit hole, you know, with all these other ideas and facts and things that you know, that pop up into my brain constantly. Like I could sit here and go through, and probably just did, I'll have to watch back, but like I could go through like 6 different topics in like 30 seconds and not think, because one thing will lead me to another, to another, to another, to another. And that's the way my brain works. And that's why I love doing these. I love doing podcasts, and I can sit here for God knows how long and talk to a piece of plastic with a piece of glass in the middle of it. You know, obviously I'm talking to you because you're listening and you're watching, but I mean, literally I'm in this room by myself and I'm looking at this little plastic Sony camera, and that's all I have. And a creepy, you know, monitor of myself. It's kind of creepy to see myself talking as I'm talking. At any rate, this is why I do what I do, you know, partly. The other part is obviously to meet people, to learn about their craft, learn about what it is, who they are. You know, my friend Connor had the perfect idea for a podcast name. I kind of like, you know, you ever like a band will come out or something, or like a new artist and they have like a really cool name and you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that? There's so many things that happen like that for me. It's like I'll be listening to a comedian, or I'll be watching a skit on TikTok or Instagram Reels or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I could have totally done that. And I know that if there's something that's trending, you can like just do it. You know, don't worry about who did it first. Just do it because it's a trend and everybody's going to do it. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I'm a kind of a hipster, if you haven't noticed already, and I don't really like to follow fucking trends. I just don't. At any rate, not to call you a motherfucker. Let me go back. This morning oh my God. Okay, so I bought this gimbal. It is a DJI gimbal. And it is not their top tier gimbal. Okay. However, it usually runs anywhere from like $250 to $350, somewhere in there in that ballpark area. I looked it up once. I don't remember off the top of my head. I bought this thing off of Marketplace for $75. Like, I'm literally not going to pass that up. Hang on. Actually, I want to text this guy back real quick. This is Jay. He's wanting pictures. Not just yet. I'm in the middle of live streaming a podcast, Bretta. All right. Yeah, it really was a steal, and I couldn't pass it up. And I got it home, plugged it up, charged it all the way up. Everything's good to go. Calibrated it. I balanced it. Everything, I did it all. Everything was running perfect inside my house, right? And I thought to myself, cool. I can do this on the fly. It's been a while since I've run a gimbal, but I was like, I can do this on the fly. It's no big deal. So I messed everything all up. I took my camera off, and then you have to get it back in its case. You kind of have to loosen everything and squish it together and compress it so it can fit back into its case. And that's where I fucked up, I think. But I got it out. I start setting it all up. I balance, and the way I do it, and this may be wrong, but the way I do it is I balance the camera on the gimbal before I turn it on. So when it stands up, I can tap it and it'll swivel around, but it'll always correct itself to straight up and perfectly level. And once I got that done, I cut it on, and it just started going. I was like, what the fuck? I was so pissed. I had to turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. And eventually, you already know what happened because it's me, and I have no patience for bullshit. So I unhooked it from the gimbal, threw the gimbal back in my truck, locked everything up, and I hauled ass, and I handheld shot everything. I did have my little FoPro. I call it a FoPro because it's an Akaso Go. It's not a GoPro. It's it looks like a GoPro. It's got a waterproof housing, just like it comes with all the things. But I had bought this little, I wear a backpack with all my gear in it. Well, it's a little, I wish I had it. I think it's on the table, but I'm not going to go get it. But anyways, it was like $15 or something. It's just a literal piece of fabric. It's thick. It's it's thick as a backpack strap. And it's got a thick, Velcro on it. So you just wrap it around and Velcro it to the strap of your backpack or whatever that you desire that's going vertical. And then it has a little clip. You can clip your GoPro right into it. And I had a little first person view going on or whatever. And so that was kind of neat. Only thing that I learned from that is having it right here. When I pick my hand up to shoot, this is all you see because it's just covering up the little GoPro there. But anyways, I digress. It got a lot of really cool stuff of me walking around and everything, but probably would have shot it. The sensor in that thing it will do some good video, but it's not 4K. Sorry. My phone does take better video than that. The only thing that I liked about it was it's compact, and it was mountable. I don't have a little funky thing to use for my phone. And honestly, I don't want to use my phone. I want to use the tools I have. I do have that as a tool. Okay. Don't come at me. However, I kind of told myself that I wasn't going to do that anymore because I started to become too reliant on just my phone, and I would literally not take any gear with me. I have all this shit laying around the house, and I wouldn't take anything with me. All I need is my phone. And yeah, you can do some cool stuff, but if you're shooting video for a client or you want to make a feature length type of thing. If I'm doing a run and gun vlog, maybe I'll use my phone, honestly, because I've done a vlog with a phone before and I noticed artifacts that I didn't like that I knew would not be there had it been a camera, like a real camera. Am I a real boy, Papa? So, that's kind of what happened to me today. The fucking air conditioner went out. The gimbal fucked up. What else? I kept blocking the shot on my, on my FoPro. But all in all, I got some good photos. I just sent some over to Jay. That's what he was kind of like. My fault, do you think? It's all good, my brother. Don't worry about it. I love you. Never apologize. He's so nice, man. I hate it when people apologize to me. And I do tell him I love him. Is that gay? Is that homo or whatever? Is it? Tell your bro that you love him. I think dudes need to do that more. I really do. I think for me, it's like a big deal. I know that there's probably guys out there all over the world that fucking that tell their homies they love them and stuff, but like it's a big, huge deal for me because, and here's where we pivot into something else. But for me, like I didn't grow up with a dad. Okay, he went to get the milk and never came back. Joke. But yeah, he wasn't around my whole life. And I always had a hard time connecting with men, with other dudes. And, especially like emotionally. I've always been one of those like, it's kind of probably why I have this like, not that I've ever been to college, but like I have this kind of frat boy attitude around other guys. We just kind of like smack each other on the ass and like, it's like a lot of dick jokes and fucking around and shit. It's like we can't be serious, or it's harder to be serious, and that's okay, I guess. But what I'm getting at is it's just hard for me to connect with a dude on an emotional level, and there's probably a lot of guys out there like that. Probably a lot more than they would like to admit. But well, guess what, man? I love you too, bro. And I just, it's weird. Like I can say it, like I say I do that here on the podcast. I'm like, I'll talk to you later. I'll see you next time. Love you, or whatever. Cuz it's like love you guys, it's doesn't mean the same thing almost. Maybe I should stop doing it. Like I told my girlfriend, and this is a deeper, this is going to become my therapy today. But maybe this is like a deeper thing than I thought because I am very hard. I don't tell people I love them very easily. Like I told my girlfriend, you're not going to hear that shit from me every single day. It just ain't going to happen. I was like, if we're on the phone, I'm not. I was in a marriage for 21 years and I would say it multiple times a day. Okay. And over 21 years, it just started to become pomp and circumstance, or that's like the second time I've said that. I should probably think of a different analogy. It was just kind of like going through the motions, like it was something you do. It was like you get up, you brush your teeth, you say, I love you. It was the thing that you did. And I don't really care for that bullshit. Like, I don't want it to be, I told her this, I said, I don't want it to become just like, just a thing that we do, like a utility or something. I don't want it to become that. So I said, when something comes up and I have that feeling stir up in me, I will tell you. And, so it's not all the time. And so she gets that, and we call each other every single day. And very rarely will we, before we hang up, we're like, I love you. We don't do the smushy stuff, but, which is probably why we get along like we do. She kind of acts more dude-ish. She's very much a female though. But she has like that guy mentality, where she doesn't really like to put up with bullshit and all this other stuff. I'm going to turn this fan down. Or is that up? Oh, that's up. It's fine. Those are the actual fans in the computer. You're right. Love is shown. I think that you can show, you don't always have to say it. You can show it in the things that you do. And there, this whole, I always thought it was hooey, the whole love language thing. Like I lumped it into like horoscopes, I lumped it into that because I was just like, okay, whatever. You have a love language, whatever. But it's true. Everybody has a different love language. Some people, they want to talk things out. Some people are acts of service. Some people are, oh God, I forgot, physical touch. There's so many different things. I'm probably more acts of service because when people do things for me, it makes me like, and I don't mean like doing things for me, but like like when she cleans the house or clean anything with anyone cleans anything in my house. Like I'm like, woo, I feel like I'm on top of the world. So like, I don't need gifts. I buy my own shit. I don't honestly like Christmas or birthdays or whatever fucking shit that people have to give you gifts on. I think that's ridiculous. But so I'm definitely not one of those, but, there are different love languages. And I definitely think that, actions, to what you're saying, actions do speak louder than words a lot of times. And, sometimes it means more, to some people. There are those people that are very like, decadent and vacant. Those are the two fucked up words that I would think to use. And you can automatically think of a person in your brain. I guarantee you. You might not even be anybody you actually know, but you can just imagine what they look like. This person that, for guys, it's always a girl that wants you to be their fucking sugar daddy, or get my nails done, get my hair done. You should be paying for dinner. Hey, guess what? That shit was out the window. Okay. That's how it used to be. Okay. That's how, and you didn't like it back then. Honestly, I didn't live back then, and I don't know if I would care for it. I like a woman with a brain in her head. I like someone who has thoughts and feelings and things that they want to share. I like the fact that my girlfriend works. I mean, I don't want her. If I could provide her to not work, for sure, she wouldn't work. But I like the fact that she wants to work. She wants to provide for herself. I like that. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, those types of people that like just want everything handed to them, those females that want that stuff. I mean, there's guys out there too, but in my experience, it's been mostly female. And if you've ever been on the dating apps, or if you're on them now, fuck. You have everything from freeloaders to prostitution on all those apps, and it's just insane. It makes you like, I mean, I'm glad I have a girlfriend, and there's times and I've talked about this before. It's not anything new, but if you are new here, this is not what this podcast is about, but I'm going to say something that's more personal. But we are very non-monogamous. We date outside of our relationship, and that the only problem that causes at all is the fact that everyone else is out of their fucking gourd. That's the problem. We have neither one of us, and we've been together for like almost 9 years, I think. And neither one of us have found someone that we were like, I think I want to have another relationship with this person, and like a poly relationship with that person. Like, no one. I mean, she has a guy that she kind of sees. He lives out of state, and he kind of comes in town occasionally, and then he takes her to do stuff. But it's not like a relationship where you see each other all the time, But so yeah, I'm on the dating apps, and we're just like, it's a lot, and I can tell you that there's times when I'm like, is it even worth it to be fucking non-monogamous? Because I get fucking judged constantly. It's like the non-monogamous people are like the new, it's like the new gay, back in the early 80s or late 80s, early 90s, if you were gay, you were like, it was frowned upon, well, now everybody's down with that shit. Yay. And then, but if you want to date more than one person, you're a horrible human being. The fuck? I don't know. I'm definitely not going to pontificate about that the whole night. Anyways, I had to take a little puff break. Um, what else? What else should we talk about? Let's see. Oh, I am going to bring up some other things that Tristan and I talked about. Well, and I'm not sure his stance on this, but it could be, could be, but I'm well. If I didn't hate social media so goddamn much, um, I kind of had the idea when we were doing our live stream on the Instagram. I was like, we should have. Actually, I think we talked about it before, but like a community, whether it be on Facebook or Instagram or, just anywhere, like a chat room full of nothing but creatives. And if you're not a photographer, videographer, artist, if you're not like making movies or, painting pictures or, creating things, then you don't really belong there. Which I hate to exclude people, but it's really, it's almost like a helper a helper page, is what I want to create. Like, it's a place where we can go and we can talk, we can chat about stuff, we can throw ideas around. Hey guys, I got this idea for something, and if it's said in the chat by whoever it's said by, and someone else gets caught doing that idea or whatever without consent from the person that thought of it. I mean, I get it, parallel thinking, but also that's too much to be a coincidence, I guess. So for sure, there'll be action taken. You wouldn't be able to really do much other than kick them out of the group, but like zero drama, but as a creative, and I know Tristan's, we've both talked about this ad nauseum, but it'll probably never stop, that we could probably talk about this for hours and days, but it would be, okay. I'll put it to you like this. When someone makes a movie, have you ever seen the credits roll at the end of the movie? There's a fuckload of people. It's just a shitload of people on there getting credit for, everything from filmography to audio engineer to this guy got my coffee. Everybody is accredited, and there's so many people to make that mountain move. And that is why that's my whole philosophy behind doing this chat group. And I want it to be on social media because I don't really feel comfortable just giving everybody my phone number, even though I do to select people after I've chatted them up a little while. If I have you on the podcast or you're going to be on the podcast, I will generally give you my number like a day prior, so that because I have all of my notifications for every single social media turned off. I don't have any of that on. I don't see any notifications from any of that stuff unless I open the app. Once I open the app, of course, you get all the in-app notifications and all that shit. But yeah, I don't have any of that stuff on my phone. So because I really I view social media, even though we're here now and I use it to promote this podcast, I view it as a stain on the human existence. And that's a little harsh and probably a little heavy and probably a little overboard. But it really is, because we're not using it the way maybe it was intended to be used. But again, freedom of speech, human rights, all that stuff. It's like, well, how can you tell me how to use the internet? Well, I can't. But just like with anything, there should be some kind of like guideline in your brain. Like, I'm not coming up with the guidelines. The government shouldn't come up with guidelines, but you as a human being should know what's right from wrong, and be able to, like, honestly, like, fucking online bullying is the worst. As a kid, and here we go, I'm going to switch gears again. As a kid, I got bullied a lot. I'm not a big guy now. I'm 5'8", and I don't know how much I weigh, like 182 pounds. But yeah, I was not a big guy growing up. And in my younger years, I was even smaller. So and thin, you know, like I had no muscle, I had no way to protect myself, and you know, I got picked on a lot. I was an easy target. Well, I can deal with that kind of bullying. Like I could literally deal with that kind of bullying. Bully me to my face. Unless you swing on me, that shit doesn't bother me at all. But there's something about a faceless, nameless person saying nasty shit behind a fucking computer screen that some people, not all, but some people can't fucking handle. They can't deal, bro. And I you know, there's been cases that, you know, where people fall into a huge depression and they, you know, unalive themselves, which I hate even saying that because censorship. I just censored myself. But some people have, you know, taken themselves out because of online bullying. Isn't that insane to think that one person, or even if it's fucking a huge group of people, messaged this person or got in their comment section or whatever it was and said some things that weren't positive, and this person was so hurt by it that they took themselves out. Fucking gnats. I just sprayed in here yet again. At any rate, welcome to Florida. But yeah, I mean, it's insane to me that happens. And that is what I'm talking about, using it properly. Like, I don't care if you're looking up porn, just don't look up child porn. How fucking hard is that? Like, children are not meant to be sexualized. Like, did we not learn anything as a human society, you know, with the whole JonBenet thing? Wasn't that the little girl that was like, they were taking her to little baby pageants and shit? Like, what the fuck even is that? I hope they're not still having those, because that's gross. And I'm going to tell you, here we go. We're going to shift again on that topic or something around that topic. But like, I watched a movie last night, and I haven't like watched a movie with human beings in it in a really long time. If it wasn't anime, I didn't want to see it. But I was flipping through Hulu, I think, or maybe it might have been Netflix. But not too long ago, they made, and it could have been like 10 years old. I don't fucking know. But Zac Efron made they remade the movie Firestarter. Okay, and if you've never seen that movie, it came out originally in 1984. It had Drew Barrymore and some other people that I don't know. Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen's dad, he was in it, and he looked young as shit. But yeah, it was a Stephen King novel. Okay, it's a movie based on that. And boy, they just didn't try very hard. They didn't try very hard back then, and they didn't try very hard now. Not that I could make it any better, but I really feel like had I been tasked with making a movie, like it would probably, my first one would probably look like that. That's how bad that movie was. Because I mean, obviously, if I decided I was going to take off and make a movie, you know, and I had a budget or whatever, like my first movie is probably going to look like that. I can imagine if you have never done it before, that's what it's going to be. Unless you're just like an uber genius and you can root out good acting, and that's another thing, if you can afford good actors. And the biggest part, I think, is the script. And, you know, I've never been in movie production or been a part of movie production or any of that stuff. I would love to be a fly on the wall or like get into a mentorship with someone so I could learn. So I don't really know, but it seems to me like I can overlook a lot of the not so special effects if the fucking acting was better, and if, you know, the script was better. Because maybe they're good actors, and maybe it's just the script sucks. Maybe it's the director that sucks. If the director can't see, how bad this looks on film before calling it a wrap for the day, maybe he don't need to be there. Okay. And, and then also it could be the editors as well. And, I hate to put it on the editors because the editors weren't there during the shooting process. They just have to take, a turd and polish it sometimes. So, and as far as I'm concerned, I do it all, and I'm not a good actor, and I'm definitely not a good script writer. But I know that when something just doesn't look good or sound good, and I don't mean like actual audio or video. I mean like facial expressions or like hand movement or, just the way they talk. It's so fucking weird how everyday human beings think I can't act but those actors are they're acting like a human being, right? So why is it that everyone can't do that? That is the biggest conundrum that I've ever had to face. The actors act like human beings, but just a different human being. But even if I were to act in a movie as myself, how would that relate? How would that turn out? Because I don't act. I just am who I am every day, and I don't put on airs. It is what it is. You guys watch this podcast long enough, you know that this is just fucking me. I don't change from one thing to another. Now I say that, but if I'm sitting down with a bunch of grandmas, I'm not going to be out there dropping the F-bomb every 5 minutes. I know right from wrong on that. And, but I'm also not going to fucking change who I am. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Even my own family will tell you, no, he's pretty much that way all the time. But yeah. Oh, the point, well, I got way off track. The whole point to me getting on that tangent was I don't think they should be in movies. And I know that's going to be difficult, and it would really look weird if we just watched movies all the time and there was never kids in it. Especially how does Disney live? But I definitely, if they're going to be in the fucking movie, there's got to be strict no touching policy. No, it just gave me the willies. So here's again, we watched Firestarter, the new one with Zac Efron. And then after that, I was thinking to myself, and I was telling my girlfriend, I was seems to me the acting was better in the older version than in the new version. And well, we're not there yet. I've seen some good AI, but it's not 100% yet, but I think we're going to get there, and that would be better. I would, but if they're a main character in the movie, you can't really AI them through the whole movie, probably to where it's realistic, an AI baby, Twilight, maybe. But yeah, so we went back after I watched the new one. I went back and watched the old one, and which is on Hulu. I believe. I think that's where I found it. Anyways, we watched that. And maybe it was just the time that we were in, the way they filmed it, or the time they were just they didn't really know what they were doing, I guess, with acting. Because come to think of it, moving pictures haven't been around all that long. I know we're doing some great strides and making some great strides with some of the stuff we got going now, but it's the shit hasn't really been popping for that long a time. And I mean in the grand scheme of things, not if it's been 100 years, obviously that's a long time for me, but the dad, and I get that in the movie he was her dad, But boy, he just kissed her a lot. Every guy in the movie like had to put their hands on her in some way, or they would pick her up. Like she was constantly getting picked up. And then there was this weird scene, or like this whole, it was towards the end of the movie, and this is what they changed in the new movie because it was nothing like this. But her and her dad get captured in the 84 movie and taken to this place called the Shop. And then they kept them separated. He was basically in chains in a fucking dungeon somewhere, and she was in a beautiful room. And every time someone would come into the room, she would be like in a new cute little outfit. And I'm just like, that's kind of gross. Like, I also stopped and think about it that, anime that I watch, that I love, they do that shit a lot too. So at least it's not with like a real kid though. It's just a drawn child. Still wrong. I don't want people to get that impression that they can just do those things. But I just it just gave me the fucking willies, man. I sat there and I was like, by the end of the movie, I was just like, good God Almighty, like, what are we doing? Just fondling this kid the whole movie. Like, poor girl. No wonder Drew Barrymore cut into such a fucking weirdo. I mean, all actors are kind of weirdos, right? I hope you don't know any actor friends. Sorry, Brad. My bad. Another smoke break here. Which is a good way to do it. Shit, we're on 16:09. There's no good way. Usually if Patrick's here, he would just flip the camera to himself. But I'm only running one camera tonight, so didn't see a reason that I needed to have multiple cameras going. Where's my time code? There's no time code. Very strange. So I don't know how long I've been going. That's wrong. 6:56. I think I started right around 6. It's been like an hour. I think I'm done on my soapbox. I think I'm probably going to call it a night. But do be looking for Tristan and we're going to be doing that live on, and it's just, maybe I'll call it live at 5 every week, but Wednesday around 5 o'clock, we're going to go live on Instagram for an hour. If we can help it, because neither one of us like to shut the fuck up. I could literally sit here and talk for another 2 hours if I wanted to, especially if he keeps chiming in like that. But yeah, so we're gonna try to keep it to an hour. If we go over and get kicked off, we'll crank back up. He did give me another reason he gave me another reason on the last one that iPhones are better than Droids. So. It's not just subjective, guys. Okay, it's literal. At any rate, let me hop off before he starts commenting on that. Or anyone for that matter. But yeah, so be looking for that on Instagram. It's going to be on my photography page. It's going to be on my photography page because I've had it for fucking 100 years, so it's got over 1,000 followers. And book. Boo. What you booing about, man? Halloween's over. Can't scare me. But yeah, it'll be on the photography page. Like, I'll start there, and so it's Graybeard Photo Co. on Instagram. And if you can't remember, Graybeard Photo Co. What is this? I don't know what this is. Anyway, but yeah, so go there, be looking for that, follow that page. Listen, I need you to go. This is a couple things I need you to do right now if you're listening to this podcast. Go, first of all, subscribe to this page. Second of all, go to Undiluted Vision on Instagram. Go to Urban Curse on Instagram. Go to The Graybeard Podcast on Instagram and hit follow button on all of those accounts. Go to Jamerica what is it? Jamaica Network on YouTube, right here on YouTube, and go subscribe to that page as well. For sure, I'm going to give my homie a shout out here, but I think I would rather do the lives on Instagram on my podcast page. It's just that I'm more active on my podcast page because that's what I'm passionate about. And, I'm really not posting much on the photography page. I will be soon because I just took a bunch of photos. Not as many as I would like because I shot a lot more video. But yeah, so be looking for that and join us if you have something you want to talk about. We are open to people jumping in and joining the live. So yeah, with that being said, I am going to get the F out of here. I do love you, and I love you too, Tristan. I love you, Jay. I love Patrick. I love you. Shout out to my little G. Happy birthday, little man. I love you more than I love, anything. And I can't wait for our little surprise to happen. So, anyways, I hope you're having a good birthday, and Disney. We'll see you next week with Connor and Shannon, or just Connor or Shannon. I don't know. Whichever one of them's coming, they're going to be here. All right. See you.